When speaking about LeBron and Bronny James, Nick Wright brings up the New York Knicks, and I'm here to break it all down. All that and much more on the Knicks Digest. What's up, guys? It's your boy Dario again. And yesterday on First Things First, Nick Wright, Chris Broussard, and Kevin Wiles, they were talking about the decision that Bronny declared for the NBA draft and also entering the transfer portal. Now, Nick Wright threw out this idea: if the Knicks were able to land the 25th pick in this upcoming NBA draft, would it be smart for a team like the New York Knicks to trade for LeBron James? Now, in this example, Nick Wright, he just out of nowhere picked the New York Knicks. But since he picked the New York Knicks, of course, I got to talk about it. The way he brought it up was, would it be smart for the New York Knicks to trade the 25th pick, if they were to land the 25th pick in the first round of the NBA draft, to the Los Angeles Lakers, straight up one-for-one trade, because LeBron James has the opportunity. He could be a potential free agent this upcoming summer. And right now, with all the mock drafts, with all the projected drafts, it looks like Bronny is going to be going towards that middle of the first round. Definitely not lottery. But if it were the New York Knicks to have the 25th pick, or maybe 24th or 26th, and Bronny is there, LeBron James in the past has said that whoever drafts Bronny, he's going to be going to that team. And we all know that LeBron James has been trying to stick it out in the NBA to see Bronny play with him. And that'll be super exciting. The first father-son duo in NBA history. I would love to see it. And it's incredible that LeBron is even at this place where he's even able to think about it. Now, depending on which camp you're in, you have LeBron James as the GOAT or the second or third best player of all time. Me personally, in my lifetime, I have LeBron James as the best player of all time. But if we're just talking about the overall landscape of NBA history, I have Michael Jordan in front of him. I have Michael Jordan as the GOAT, and then I have LeBron James and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar fighting for that number 2 spot. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar gets 100% slept on whenever these conversations keep coming up. So I'm just doing my part to make sure that Kareem's name stays alive. But next season, on December 30th, LeBron James is going to be turning 40 years old. 40 years old, still playing in the NBA, and it's still crazy because LeBron James is he's 100% a top 20 NBA player. Top 15, I think is pretty guaranteed as well. But LeBron James is more towards the top 10 to top 15 range of NBA players. And again, he is a potential free agent this upcoming summer, so I'm not sure exactly what the money he's looking for and the contracts and all that stuff. All I know is that Nick Wright brought up the idea of the Knicks trading their first round draft pick wherever it lands, which is maybe from 20 to 30, and doing a one-for-one trade for LeBron James. And it's kind of crazy because LeBron James for this season, if we take a look at his numbers, we're looking at 25.5 points. We're looking at 7.2 rebounds, 8.2 assists, converting 53.8, which is 54% from the field, 41.2 from three-point land, converting 74.7 of his free throws. That 3-point field goal percentage is very impressive to me. 41.2. During his earlier years in the league, the knock on him was you got to make him shoot. But like every great player, what they do is they work on their game until the point where they have no holes in their game. And LeBron James, I think it's safe to say that at this point of his career, you can say that he doesn't have any holes in his game. And as far as passes and assisting and making his teammates better, he is one of the best players I've ever seen do it. He took that 2007 Cavs team to the NBA Finals against the San Antonio Spurs where they got swept. He had Sasha Pavlovich on that team, Anderson Varejao. He has a Jonas Agauskas. He had Boobie Gibson. I believe Eric Snow was on that team. Like, that was one of the most incredible feats I've ever seen an NBA player do. But with those numbers for the season, then I got to thinking, all right, where does that land LeBron James within the current landscape of the NBA? Where does he land as far as scoring averages for the season? Is he a top 10? Is he top 15? Well, I took a look into that. And if you take a look here, Luka, Giannis, Shea, Jalen Brunson, and Kevin Durant, they round out the top 5. Then the next 5, we got Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, Nikola Jokic, De'Aaron Fox, and Stephen Curry. So that's the rounding out the top 10. Now, the next 5, we got Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Maxey, Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. That's pretty interesting how LeBron and Anthony Davis are like right behind each other. LeBron is 14th, Anthony Davis is 15th. But LeBron James right now averaging 25.5 points lands him at 14th on scoring averages for this season. He is 39 years old, and he is 14th in the league in scoring averages at 25.5 points. That's unheard of. And on top of that, if you watch him play, he still looks very fluid. Yeah, has his athleticism gone down? 100%. Everybody knows that's going to happen as you age. But the one thing that LeBron James knows that he had to work on, which he kind of came into the league with, I remember seeing his first game against the Sacramento Kings, that you could see that the basketball IQ was there. Seeing how he saw all these passes before the passes were even available, before anybody else saw them. So the basketball IQ is what separates LeBron James from all these other players in the league, all these other stars and superstars. And that's one of the reasons why LeBron James has been able to last as long as he has. Of course, he takes care of his body and he does all that stuff during the offseason. But like, he knows where to pick his spots. He knows where he's going to be most effective. He knows where to not use most of his energy. LeBron James is one of the smartest players I've ever seen in my life. But going back to the Knicks, I know this is a hypothetical, but Nick Wright brought it up, so I got to keep talking about it. With those numbers, 39, being 14th in the league as scoring averages, still looking like he can be a top 15 player in the league, would it be so bad if the Knicks traded that mid first round draft pick to the Lakers for a one-to-one straight up trade? Now, the Lakers, I don't think would do it at all. They obviously, LeBron James is going to demand a lot more in the market, but it is a very, very, very fun hypothetical to think about. And then after talking all this out and thinking about all this, where did my next thought lead me? So my next thought led me to Bronny James. So Bronny James, if we take a look at his numbers for USC in his first year at USC, 4.8 points, 2.8 rebounds, 2.1 assists, converting 36.6% from the field. And I'm looking at his height and I'm looking at his weight. He's listed at 6'4" at 210, but I'm thinking that's a little generous. I think he's more on the 6'2", 6'3" side. Now, I'll be the first to admit that I'm not a huge college basketball fan. Ever since I graduated college, I don't know, I was keeping up with it for the first like maybe 2-3 years, and then after that, it just completely fell by the wayside. I've been a very avid NBA follower. But Bronny James going into college, and we all know about the one and done rule. We all know that LeBron James wants to stay in the league as long as possible to play with Bronny. So Hoopers, basketball fans, we were going to check in on Bronny every once in a while to see his development, to see what type of game he has, to see if he's going to be able to make the leap into the NBA. And from what I've seen, the highlights that I see from Bronny entering the NBA draft, it's not that I think it was the wrong decision. I just think personally that he should stay another year. And I also think that should be an NBA rule. They need to change it from the one and done to at least 2 years, because there's going to be numerous factors. The biggest one that I can think of is the player that stays for 2 years, he is going to be more physically mature. And when he enters the league, he's going to be physically able to handle the physicality in the league. Right now, the one and done rule, you're playing 1 season in college for those who choose to go the college route, and then you're going into the league. So you're 19 in the league. You're still a kid playing against grown men. But if you stay 2 years, you're going to be around 20, maybe 21 years old. You have a little bit more of that adult strength. You'll be able to keep up a little bit more with the grown men and the physicality of the league. But going back to Bronny, I just think he needs a little bit more time to develop his game. And I know they're kind of on the clock because LeBron, we don't know how many more years he has left in the league. As far as LeBron playing the way he's playing, we thought that he was going to be on the other side of his career, 3 seasons ago? And he's still, at that time, he was still playing like a top 10 player in the league. So with LeBron, you kind of don't know. But as far as the type of player that we see right now with LeBron James, right now, averaging 25.5 points, being 14th in the league in scoring averages, that might be another season or two. So again, like I said, we know that LeBron James is kind of on a clock. So Bronny, it's not that he's rushing the process, but he just wants to make sure that it's going to happen. Him being in the league and playing with his dad. But then that brings me to, again, the hypothetical. Nick Wright saying that if the Knicks own the 25th pick in the first round of this upcoming NBA draft, hypothetically, picking Bronny at the 25th pick, 26th, 27th, 28th, whatever it is it a good pick? There's one side of me that says yes. He was only a freshman in his 1 season at USC. He still has a lot of development to go through. So the type of game that he's going to be able to develop as the years goes on, we don't know the type of player that Bronny can end up like. He could either end up a little bit closer to the LeBron side, or he could end up a little bit closer to just an average NBA player. And if you're the Knicks, hypothetically, if you do have that pick and Bronny James is there and he's available, I think it's a risk. I think it's a risk because we don't know how he's going to turn out. It could be for the better, or it could be not even for the worse. It could just be an average NBA player. But in this hypothetical, it all revolves around LeBron James. But one team is going to have to make that decision. Bronny James has declared for the NBA draft. Can LeBron James actually develop into a better NBA player? Not even like his dad, just a solid rotational NBA player. And then from there, we don't know if he can make another leap. Or if we draft Bronny, is he just going to be an average NBA player? And unfortunately, most of them fall by the wayside. And I'm here to say, I hope the Knicks are not in that position. But that's it for today's video, guys. I want to say thank you for checking it out. Leave it in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about Nick Wright bringing up the Knicks and the whole LeBron James and Bronny James situation. Let me know if it's realistic. Let me know if you guys are for it. If the Knicks have that 25th, 24th, 26th pick and Bronny is there, are you okay with the Knicks selecting Bronny James? Do you think it's a little bit of a move to entice LeBron to come to New York? Or do you think that they're really trying to develop Bronny and try to help build his career? But until next time, guys, you know the drill, you know the vibes. Taj Gibson for president, Jalen Brunson for all the MVPs. The deuce is loose for co-MVP, and we out. Peace.